You know what time it is. Time to hang out with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Coop I. With Mr. Coop I. With Mr. Coop I. Get the latest scoop. From Mr. Coop I. From Mr. Coop I. From Mr. Coop I. Hang with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Coop I. With Mr. Coop I. With Mr. Get the latest scoop. From Mr. Coop I. From Mr. Coop I.
Welcome to the Big Scoop with Coop. I'm your host, Coop. Guys, Season 3 is still going strong right now. I have a very, very important guest on the show today, and she has done a lot of things. She is actually a very, very talented woman. I mean, as far as it goes from music all the way up to hockey. I mean, she has done it all, guys. I really, if you ever played the sport of hockey, you'll know how hard this is as far as it goes for doing this, but I have to admit, she can do it all. And I'm going to stop blabbing about this. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Ms. Megan Cavallari. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much, Michael. Thank you.
Thank you. I do apologize. Had a little technical difficulties earlier, but we had the show running, people listening worldwide, and I'm very excited to have you on the show. And
thank you for letting me on the show.
Oh, of course, anytime. And also, Megan, just to let you know, on this show, we always talk about how you started in your career, your success, give advice on how to actually get into your career, and much more. Now, the world the world is listening. So, when did you realize that you was a fan of music and wanted to go into the music industry?
Well, I started writing music seriously at 12 and then had my first fully produced musical at 15. Mm-hmm. And I was studying music seriously at 12 with Alfred Blotter. He was out at Curtis Institute of Music. I'm from Philly, which explains my hockey obsession with the Flyers. And then I went to study with George Crumb because I thought I wanted to write opera, but really at that time I wanted to be Leonard Bernstein as well. And in the second grade, everybody went around the circle and said what they wanted to be, and all the girls said mom, like mommy, a mom, and I said Leonard Bernstein. And of course, everybody started laughing, and my house was close enough that I just, opened the door to school, and I walked out. So I was pretty sure I was going to be in music, and the music took me here to L.A. I had a musical thesis at NYU that Oscar Eustis picked up and brought it to the who produced and directed Angels in America. And his next project was my project, which was called Echo Park, and that was at the Mark Tabor Forum. So then I went to one scoring session and fell in love with film scoring and decided I had to do that. So that's what I've been doing ever since.
Nice. So growing up, what type of music were you listening to?
Every single thing. You name it, jazz, big band, classical, musical theater. My parents had everything on. They just loved music. So, and I had music lessons. We all had music lessons. I'm the middle child, and we all had music lessons, and we all played sports, and it was always a great love of ours of music. So that's what we did. And I was really lucky when I came out here. The first job I had was working on Nightmare Before Christmas with Danny Elfman. And I got that job because I was just sitting next to him at Thanksgiving, and he said, "What are you doing out here?" And I said, "I have a musical at the Mark Tabor Forum." And he said, "Oh, I'm working on a musical too." And I said, "Really?" And we started talking, and I didn't know who he was, and he just said, "What are you doing tomorrow at 10?" And I said, "I don't know." And he said, "Why don't you come work for me?"
Wow.
So I started working on Nightmare Before Christmas. So that was my first job here in the industry. So you can't get better than that. It was pretty good, Michael.
Right place, right time. Wow. Wow, and from there, I mean, you've been, streamlining. You've been rolling, and
I have. I'm really lucky. I mean, it's like 24 TV shows, 20th feature, over 100 pieces for television, theater, you name it. I've done it, and conduct as well. And I've just been really fortunate to make my living doing something I love, which I'm blessed with every single day. And so it's amazing. It's really amazing. And, the hardest thing is getting the jobs. And I'm really lucky. I just got a wonderful job called Jacob Marley. It's about Scrooge's sidekick, and Russ Francis is directing it, and he's fabulous. And we're writing the songs together, about 10 songs together. And it's an animated musical, so we'll do the songs this year. And then next year, I'll do the score. I'll focus on the score, and we got a nice big LA orchestra for that. So we're really excited. So it's sort of not heard of, a 2-year job. Usually it's 13 weeks, and you hope they do your series again, or you do your feature, and then you're looking for something else. So I'm really lucky to have this really nice security here for a few years on this feature movie. So it's great.
And Megan, I believe a lot of people are wondering, just like I'm wondering, when do you have time to sleep? Because
when do I have time to sleep? I'm an early morning person. I do most of my work really early morning. I mean, I take my daughter to school, and I'm like, boom, the antenna's up. I'm catching all kinds of songs and scores and all kinds of stuff, and I'm working overtime. I think when you're single and don't have a kid, you probably waste a lot of time. At least I did.
Well, yeah, I believe
but as soon as you have a kid, you're like, zoom. It's got to be done. Quick.
Right. Exactly. Because with me, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I have 3 kids, and I used to be like that. Now it was like, wake up, kid number 1, okay. Kid number 2, okay. Kid number 3, and as soon as it's time to Zoom, I ran out of gas. I mean,
right.
But yeah, I'm trying to get that energy back. Now, as far as it goes for everything that you're doing right now, outside of the industry, and a lot of people probably don't know this, but you live a vegan lifestyle.
Yes, I do.
How did that start for you?
Well, it's really interesting. First of all, being a vegan helps my digestion, and it really helps digest food, and it's great for the world. It's really a great choice. It's better for the ozone layer and also for the animals, obviously. And how it started was, I had ducks living in my pool, and they're still in my pool right now. And they had such personalities, Sweet Potato and Quack, and they just come up to us, and they ask for bread, and they have such personalities. They come right up to your hand, and I just thought, wow, they have personalities. They have a heart. They have they're friends of ours, and I was like, animals have these systems, and the way that they're butchered for us, I just thought it was the right thing to do. And you lose a lot of weight.
That's true.
But I do it. I think it's a good thing to do. I think it's a really good thing to do, to be a vegan. I think it's a thing that it's not for everyone, but if you're thinking about it, you should try it for 3 months, and you'll see how you still have energy for things, and I get energy off beans and things like that, and I'm doing really well with vegan. I mean, I play ice hockey and I'm a vegan, so that's something.
that tells a lot of things right there. If you can do that and live in a vegan life.
There's like pro football players who are vegan, so. That's how I chose it, just because I had contact with animals, and I was like, they have a nervous system, they have personality. I don't want to be eating them. So that's how it happened for me.
So So the first month that you were a vegan, I mean, was it hard? The very first month.
The smell sort of drove me, like the smell of steak and things like that drove me a little nuts. So the first like 2 weeks, and the breakfast was hard because I don't have a lot of bread in my diet either. So I used to have oatmeal. So now I have like gluten-free bread because I don't eat a lot of gluten. So.
Okay. Nice. I mean, everybody that's listening worldwide right now.
Yeah. Right now I'm not eating gluten, but that can change if I see some really good bread.
Of course. Everybody that's listening worldwide right now, if you're a vegan, I mean, hats off. You guys have made it this long. If you're starting, just sticking to it. I mean, try it out. Like Megan said, this right here is a good turnaround for it. Me personally, I would love to try this, but for some reason, I don't know why I'm too much of a meat eater. I've tried to learn how to.
I've come from that, yeah. But Prince can do it. Rest in peace. I can do it.
There you go. And Megan, if I started, I will let you know because I'm thinking about trying it. I really am. I know some people that's vegan, and they were at the point where like they feel much better. They say they don't feel the weight inside of them or anything like that. So yes. Now, Megan, we will talk about the other side of you right now too. Like you kind of mentioned already, you play hockey. So you're not just a musician.
I play ice hockey. I grew up in Philly, and we were huge Flyer fans, and I was playing hockey one day, and there was a girl who couldn't put on her equipment right. It's very difficult the first time you put on your equipment because there's a lot of equipment. It weighs about 35 pounds. I weighed it.
Oh, wow.
I was like, man, my bag is really heavy. And anyway, she was putting like her elbow pad on her knee, and anyway, I dressed her. And I said, just stand behind me. And she goes, I work for the Kings, and they're making us all go out and play. This is when Luc Robitaille took over the Kings. I said, just stand behind me, and any pucks that come at 50 miles an hour, I'll make sure they don't hit your face. She had a cage on. She had a helmet on. So anyway, we went out there, and she stayed right behind me, and I told her what to do and everything. And I undressed her because super hard to get undressed, and she said, thank you so much. And she goes, what's your name? I said, Megan. And she goes, what do you do? And I'm like, I'm a film composer, TV composer. I'll do some commercials. I was doing commercials at that time. She goes, I'm the commentary for the Kings. I didn't recognize her. And our music's not so good. I said, here's my CD. I had an extra CD. I always have an extra CD with me. Why don't you just listen, and why don't I, if you want new music for the Kings, I can do it. I mean, I love the Kings.
Wow.
And like 2 months later, she calls me and says, we got a position open. We made it up for you.
Wow.
Do you want to be the Kings composer? And I'm like, yeah. And so that's how I became the LA Kings composer. I haven't been traded in 10 years. And then I also do music for the Capitals and their farm team too. So it's like a dream come true. When the boys come out on the ice, I have music. I have music when they're interviewed. I have music for Bailey, who's their mascot. Whatever they ask me to do, I do. So it's pretty awesome. So it's a great job working for the NHL. And one season Luke gave me a shirt that said composer on the back.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was really good. And then another season on my birthday, they gave me a whole suite.
Are you serious?
Yeah, a whole suite, one of those $2,000 gigs.
Wow.
I was like, thank you.
Exactly.
So the Kings have been very good to me, especially Darrell Evans. He taught me how to skate and play hockey. Darrell Evans is fantastic, and he's a color commentary, and he also is a Kings coach, ice skating coach. He's pretty phenomenal.
Man, big shout out to you, Darrell. Thank you for teaching. Thank you, because now can do it all now. So, and Megan, that's the second time you was in the right place at the right time.
I know. Look how lucky I am, Michael.
Exactly. And well, you know what? And the thing is, yeah, we can say it's luck, but look at what you've done. Your skill shows it all. So
yeah, I mean, you can be lucky and be in the right place, but if you can't work your butt off for Danny Elfman or Gary Goldsmith,
right.
you're going to be fired in about a day.
Exactly.
Those guys are geniuses.
And do you have any plans to stop anytime soon? Or you still
Never. I'm at a Kraft Engel now, and they're just the best agents in the world. And, I, in fact, just started writing pop music. I hadn't written pop music before because I'd been writing so much for TV and film. And Joe D'Ambrosia, who's a pop manager, he manages a lot of producers, and my mixer, Jason Moss, who's phenomenal. And so he went to my website and he said, I think you can write, I can get you a publishing deal. I think you can write pop songs, because I write a lot of songs for TV. And so I decided to take a stab, and I sent him one, and he said, great, here's a producer to work with. And then I looked him up, and I'm like, oh my God, he's Emmy nominated.
Wow.
So he's Eric Robinson, and he's really great, really hard to work with. I'm struggling. It's great. I love the challenge. He's having me write 30 melodies.
Oh, wow.
In 2 weeks, and come up with the best 4 and send them his way. So he's working me. He's really working me. So that's great.
Man, and see, that's what I was saying earlier. You're keeping up with this guy. So
totally.
Your skill is there, because if you was any less talented than what you are right now, I believe you would say, forget it, I'm gone, because this is a challenge. And
Eric does not have to work with me. He's got plenty of people ringing his phone. He's an Emmy-nominated producer. He's got plenty of people he could be working with. So I just feel blessed that he's working with me. I just count my lucky blessings, because it's fantastic that I am able to work with such a, talented guy who, rips my songs apart.
Exactly.
But I'm learning, because it's a new skill. Writing pop songs is a new skill for me, so I expect me to have a learning curve on it. I don't expect to write, the best hit song the first time out. It's going to take me some time to, polish this new skill, just like
right.
I've polished the film scoring and the TV and the songs for TV and all the musicals, and now I'm writing an opera. So it's like you have to hone your skills, and that takes time, And that's what I would say to all the young composers out there, hone your skills, learn all the equipment like Logic and Digital Performer and Pro Tools, and learn all the technical stuff, and just write and write and write and write. Never stop writing. For one song, I'll write 20 versions of it, and then I'll pick, or maybe I'll give them 2. I'll hand in 2. People love it when you hand in 2.
Well, of course.
And you just say, I don't know which one's good. That's usually your first choice. So, that's how I would advise anybody going into the trade, the music industry, or the film and TV industry. And I've had interns turn into assistants. I've had interns just about every summer here, and they work for me, and now my assistants, God bless them, my assistants, my turnover rate is about 8 or 9 years.
Oh, wow.
It's fantastic. They're pretty fantastic. Usually they get a really big job after me. They leave because they've gotten a big feature or TV show. So I train them, and they leave, and they go out and they get huge television deals. They're really, really talented guys. All my guys working here. It's like hockey. When you play hockey, you have to have a good line. Your line's got to be great. They're backing you up. You know,
Right.
you gotta work it. You know, you fall down, you get back up. It's really hard. You got a lot of equipment on it, and you're really hurting. You go after that puck. You know what I mean? That's life, you know. And as soon as you score, you can celebrate for 1 second because you got to get in the game again.
Exactly. Now, Megan,
you know,
Megan, is it hard for you, or do you prepare differently going in between making music for the NHL and making music for television or movies? Do you prepare yourself differently on each type, or how does it actually for you?
you know, if somebody like if it's in Spain, obviously I'm going to listen to all kinds of rumbas and all kinds of different Spanish music, and identify what the director and producer might want. So I'll listen to the genre over and over and over and over again, and that where the film is filmed will dictate what the music should be, and also the dialogue. Talking to the director. The director's very hands-on in film, where the producer is very hands-on. That's your showrunners in TV. So those are the people you talk to, and you get notes from them. You do one session, get notes, and then you do it again. And that works for TV. And for film, you can do it a couple times, but usually you do it like 2 or 3 times, and then you get on the right track. You know, because you don't know what the director wants, and you're trying to speak about something that's non-tangible. You know, you want the music more dark or more happy or more, you know, like you can't explain music what it means to you. You know, so I mean, so you gotta. Then there's executives involved. You know, and there's money people involved, and you know, so you have to please a lot of people. So that's part of your goal.
Okay. I definitely get it. Now, here's one thing I want to bring up personally myself. How did it feel, you know, for Richard Kraft to say you're amazing and earworm candy? How did it feel to get that compliment from him?
When somebody says that to me?
Yeah, I heard about that. I've really heard about that. I heard Richard Kraft did.
When Richard Kraft, when somebody like Richard Kraft, who is probably the premier agent in Hollywood,
right.
And knows more about film music than just about anyone else. When he, you know, says online on Facebook, you know, Megan Cavallari's music is amazing and her melodies are like earthworm candy. That to me, you know, there's not a better compliment coming from him, somebody who knows scores and music inside out. I mean, that just put me on a whole other level because, you know, he manages all the Oscar guys, and I would like to be in that top 10. The top 10 are all men, and I would like to be the first female who's in that top 10. You know, my plans are to win an Emmy, to win an Oscar. That's what I'm planning to do. You know, and I don't have any hesitation about that.
Exactly.
You can tell.
And that's what I was about to say.
That's the road I'm heading, Michael. You didn't notice. I may not get there, but that's the road I'm choosing.
Well, I will say you're on that road, Megan.
I thank you.
Yeah.
You know, I just work hard, a lot of prayer. See what happens. Work with great people, you know, and work with the best people, with the best musicians, the best assistants, the best directors, the best producers you can get your hands on, and write the best music. That's simple. That's what it is, you know.
There you go.
So that's what I do.
Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening right now worldwide, I mean, Megan is giving you, great advice, and you guys got to hold on to this because, she's showing you how she actually did it. Now, I was being funny earlier talking about this the second time that you was in the right place at the right time, but you have to realize, like Megan said earlier, your skill, if you don't have skill, yes, you may get that one shot, but after that, you're done. But her skill is holding her up, and she's doing her thing. Megan says she's on the road to it. I'm telling you guys, she turned on that road. She made a left on that road probably about a while ago. So
probably
guys,
in the second grade.
Exactly. So, I mean, she told the people ahead of time when she was a child what she's going to do. And look at her. She's doing it. Now,
Thank you.
Oh, yes. Now, Megan, I want to say one name to you, and I want to hear your opinion about this person. And I know it's a thing. So, Eric Robinson.
Eric Robinson, what I think about him?
Yes. How did you actually start collaborating with him?
Eric Robinson is a genius producer, and he knows pop music better than anyone I've ever met. And Joe D'Ambrosia introduced us. He represents Eric, and Joe also represents Jason Moss, who's my mixer. And Joe, at first I was a little worried about using a mixer who has an agent. I had a manager. I never heard of such a thing. But it ended up that Joe is like the greatest, sweetest guy in the world. And he's the one who heard went to my website. And he was like, dang, I'm going to get you a publishing deal.
Wow.
So I said, okay, where do I sign? He goes, you got to work with this guy. He's the best in the business. And so that's what I'm doing. And and it's a struggle every day to do it. That's writing the pop songs. It's a struggle, but I mean I'm loving it. I mean we've got 3 so far that are just killing it. So, but they need some overhauls. And when you're writing, your ego's just got to stay out of the way, and you just got to let the masters do their thing and give you their advice. And then you got to do it. You got to follow their advice because they're the masters. They're like Star Wars always has these great masters who show the young the way. I'm like trying to be mastered. I'm the little princess trying to be mastered. I'm the new Star Wars princess who's like, what do I do? Okay, I'm trying to write pop hits for, Lady Gaga. Okay. This is the guy who's going to do it for me.
And see, the funny thing is, Megan, I believe next year, if I ask you, how is it to write a pop song? How hard is it? You will be like, okay. You're talking about you're struggling right now, but watch, because it's your skill how you actually do things. I know I'm throwing that out on this show a lot, but I want people to understand that's listening that yes, it's going to be hard when you start, but when you pick up on that key, it feels like you conquered the world, and you can do everything.
Yeah.
So, yes. Now, Megan, there's another thing that's about you that I'm about to bring up worldwide. Now, we know about you playing hockey. We know about you playing, doing music. And we know as a child, you told your teacher, I'm going to be in music. I don't care what you say. Basically, that's what you said. You can say mommy over there. You can say hairdresser over there, but I'm going to do music. But here's another side of you that I want to bring up, and I want you to tell everybody listening. Tell us about the Talk Foundation project.
Okay, the Talk Foundation. I'm sorry, my dogs are barking in the background.
Hey, the
Talk Foundation is a foundation I formed about 10 years ago. And the Talk Foundation, my daughter, Shoshi, has arthritis. She's 11, and she got it when she was 1.5. And she's been through all kinds of things at hospitals, chemo, and all kinds of different infusions and things. And one of the things I noticed when we were in the chemo ward, the oncology ward, that kids were like in rooms and things like that, but there were doctors around and moms around and things, but they wanted to express themselves. And so I have an extra Mac, and I figured out a way I can put some compressors in it to make it sound better, and use a microphone and GarageBand and mess around a little bit with that, and create a recording studio out of my Mac that's a little better than the recording studio that Mac has in there, right now. And I record terminally ill kids. So it's called the Talk Foundation, and people can reach me at my website about it. I'm in Los Angeles, so you'd need to be in Los Angeles if you're interested in this foundation. My name is, you spell it Megan, Cav as in Victor, Allari @gmail.com, and you can also go to my website, and there's information at Talk Foundation. But sometimes you can't always get me there. You can get my email or my phone number is also on my website. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find a home for the Talk Foundation, one hospital, and I'm looking into Children's Hospital right now and Kaiser Permanente right now to just have a room where I can interview these children because they have something to say, and sometimes they want to thank people, sometimes they want to do it alone, sometimes they have a lot of wisdom. I mean, they always have a lot of wisdom. Sometimes they want to sing a song, sometimes they want to thank people, sometimes they want to scream, and it's just sometimes they just want to be alone and they want to talk. So, I say a prayer before I go in the room, and it gives me strength to, because it's a bit of a sad situation. This kid might not be there next week. So I know I'm doing a really good deed, and I record them live. I don't mix, so everything that happens. And then I create a CD with the label on it, Talk Foundation, and I put the date down, and I have that in my computer if the relatives want it later. But I give it to the child, and they have it. So that's the foundation that I do. It's called the Talk Foundation. It's here in Los Angeles, and it's open for children, teenagers, and tweens. I've done everything for this woman wanted me to record her child who was preemie, but wanted to record her child's breathing that was on her own. And I went in there, and I recorded the breathing of the child because she wanted to hear it at home when she was at home. And when she wasn't in, she had to go back to work, but she wanted to hear her baby's breathing and everything, so I did that for her. That's my Talk Foundation. It's very small. I don't have a bank account for it. I just do it on myself. I do it myself, so people don't need to send money. I know people hear about it and they send me checks, but you don't need to send the money to me. I just do it when I'm needed, where I'm needed. I just go. So that's what I do. That's a project I do, and people find me. But as I said, I'd like to be set up at one hospital if I could, like Children's Hospital in Los Angeles or something like that. I'd like to. I'm roaming right now.
Oh, wow.
But I'd like to set up in one space because then I can hand out my Talk Foundation pamphlets, and then they know where to find me and things. And then if other people want to see me, they can just go through my website. So that's the Talk Foundation, Michael.
All right. I mean, everybody that's listening, if you're in the L.A. area, make sure you donate. Make sure you help out Megan, because this right here is serious business, guys. Make sure, because these kids need you. I mean, Megan, she's only one person, even though she's a great superstar, but she's still
Oh, thank you. If I can give back even, to one child, one family, you change one family, you're changing the world. You change one child, you're changing the world. And if I'm doing a little bit of good in the world and I'm helping somebody out, then I feel really good afterwards because I feel like I've helped that child ease their pain from cancer or some terrible disease that's happening to them. So I bring a little happiness with me and let them talk.
Oh,
so
yes.
that's it's really important and it's really needed. And so that's what I do because there's not anything like it out there but me.
Exactly. You're right.
I'd like someday for it to be all over the states, but right now it's just me in Los Angeles.
Hey, don't worry. I believe it will spread. So
I think big, Michael.
You have to. You definitely have to. Now, Megan, where can people find you on social media?
They can find me on Facebook. I'm on Facebook. So they can find me, they can find me at my website, Megan Cavallari. .com.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I am. And I'm also on Facebook. I got friends all over the world. So, and that's always nice to hear from people. And, and I would advise anybody, as I said, getting into the business, just remember it's called show business. It's not called show. So make sure you have your business all together. A lot of people have the show all together, but it is business.
Right.
So you got to be ready to make lots of calls and go out to things every night and meet lots of people. And you got to get out of your shell, and you got to be able to sell like a salesman, and sell your stuff and sell you. And if you sell you, you're going to make it. If you sell your personality, like you're selling yourself. You're selling someone, you can be in my studio for a couple months. Don't you want to do that? And a lot of people have said yes. Over the last 20 years, everybody's been saying yes.
Well,
not everybody, but enough. So I can make my livelihood doing that. So, and my next film that's coming out is Jacob Marley. It's a musical with Russ Francis directing, and I couldn't be more psyched about this movie. It's going to be a great one. So, and it's a big feature, and I'm really excited. So,
when is that releasing out?
That release it's coming out in 2017.
Okay, all right.
So that's when the release is, because it's a musical. It takes longer to make.
Right.
So we're doing the songs this year, and then we do the animation and we do the music next year. Well, they're doing the animation right now, but we do the orchestrations 2017 and with the mix, and then at the end of 2017 it comes out. In time for the Oscars. Would come out like 2 weeks before the Oscars.
Okay. Guys, make sure you check
That's how you do
out
it.
next year. Yeah, make sure you check it out next year. This is going to be a hot musical, guys. So put it on your calendar ahead of time. Make time for it. Bring your family out. Bring your friends. Bring your associates. Hey, bring your haters too, because they're going to still like it also. So you make sure everybody out to check this out. Support Megan. You have to, guys.
Thank you. You're the best, Michael.
Yeah. You gave advice on how to actually get into this career. I want to say thank you. But what is your ultimate goal in the music industry?
Sorry, what's that?
Oh, yes. What is your ultimate goal in the music industry?
Oh, man. My ultimate goal, well, I love to keep making music and doing great features. I'd like to be in the top 10. There's never been a woman in the top 10. It's always been men. And, as I said, I'm going for Grammys, I'm going for Emmys, and I'm going for Oscars. Those are my goals are like that. And along the way, my goals are also, to help these children who are critically ill or terminally ill. My goals are to help them along the way, and to help my fellow men. I help my assistants all the time, and to help, wherever I'm needed, wherever I'm called. And if I'm called to write a bunch of songs for Lady Gaga, I'm dreaming right now, Michael. That's what I'll do. But my ultimate goal is, just to keep making music like I've been doing for the last 20 years and getting paid for it. I'm living my dream. So my goals are just to keep doing what I'm doing at the rate I'm doing them. So that's my goal, and put a couple of words in there, and then my voice will go off a little more. And besides that, my daughter's health, may it be good, and may your health be good, Michael, and and all the children around the world. May everybody be healthy and wise.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And Megan, you're a busy woman, and we're not going to even hold you up. I want to say thank you again for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay.
I'd love to have you back on the show in the future.
Okay. Fabulous, Michael. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Until next time, everybody, on the Big Scoop.